Welcome to the Audience Converter Podcast, the podcast for converting your audience from strangers to loyal fans. We dive deep and discuss how entrepreneurs, consultants, and coaches can level up their business to help more people in the world. Now here's your host, the creator of the Audience Conversion Method, Kimberly Weitkamp.
Are you a community leader who's looking to really build your community through the power of email? It's the first chance you have to get in front of the right people, and you should make the most of it. So many community leaders take the template approach, and you've lost your community before they've even found you. How about crafting the perfect welcome series instead? You can grab my guide, Crafting the Perfect Welcome Series, at theaudienceconverter.com/giveaway. Discover the tips and tactics I use to help my clients get up to an 80% open rate. When people open those first few emails, they're more likely to continue opening your messages, engaging, and buying from you. Build your community the right way with a welcome series that converts. Grab your copy at theaudienceconverter.com/giveaway. Today, we're talking about building your community and engagement through one of your existing marketing channels. Everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Kimberly Weitkamp, your host, marketing strategist, conversion copywriter, and all about helping you, the community of entrepreneurs out there, connect, cultivate, and convert your community. So recently, I hosted a training for my year-long mastermind students that was all about how to build your community for engagement from the very beginning. And one of the questions I constantly get is, what do I do with people once they're in? Right? I'm driving traffic, I'm converting leads, people are getting into the community, but I really want it to be interactive. I want it to be the place people go to get their questions and everything answered. So how can I build that? How can I make that happen? So today I want to dive in a little bit to some ideas on how you can drive not only people to your community, but also make it obvious that you are only kind of like the top, right? You are not the only person who's going to be participating and being active in the community, right? It's really a place for everyone to participate. So first, I kind of want to take just a moment and, decide what is a community and what isn't. Oftentimes I get asked this question, well, what do you consider a community? Is like an email list a community? Is a Facebook group a community? Do I have to have them on my own platform? My answer for this, right, it goes back to one of the things that is a tenet of the audience conversion method. It's a tenet of creating your own really strong marketing strategy, and that is you get to set your success metrics. We've talked about this before, right? Setting your own success metrics, deciding what that really looks like for you. So when people ask me, well, what is a community and what isn't? I say, well, what do you want to be a community? Do you feel that building a solid email list of people who want to interact strictly with you is at your community? Do you want to put them into some sort of interactive forum, whether that's on Facebook, whether that's on LinkedIn, whether that's on Mighty Networks, whether that's on your own platform? It doesn't matter, right? Are you wanting the community to be a place where people can interact? Or are you wanting to build pop-up communities, right? So you're going to have a group coaching program of some sort, and that is your community, right? You want to foster huge interaction, engagement, and progress within 6 to 8 weeks for a specific group of people. All of those can be community, right? All of those can be community. And you get to decide, is that yours or is that somebody else, right? What is your definition? I want you to take a moment, decide, what is your definition of a community? What does your successful community look like? For one of my clients, they want 100 people in their community, and they want at least 30% of them actively engaging every day by the end of the year. That's their definition of community. So they're putting them into a group, and it's a free level, and they're going to be offering some other things to prompt that engagement, right? Somebody else I know, their definition of community is somebody who they hold the space, but then other people interact, right? Other people in the community provide the resources for other people in the community. They're simply the creator of the community. They have a small role to play. And then other people within the community have been prompted, have been given that authority to be interactive, right? So fostering a community in which everyone helps everyone else. That could be your definition of community. What is your definition of community? That is what a community is, and that is what a community isn't. You also get to decide what your community isn't. For example, if you don't want to host trainings, if you want your place to strictly be a place for everyone to exchange ideas, for people to network, for people to meet other people, for people to hire specific people, you don't want to host your own trainings, that's fine. That is completely 100% okay. What's important is that you decide what your community is going to look like. So, what I want to talk about right now is a little bit on how you can use one of my favorite tools, right? I'm sure you're all going to be surprised to hear that I am a big fan of email. And I feel that email can be a huge tool and driver for you to build engaged communities. And here's why. Because no matter what the community is, no matter where it is that people are signing up for it, they still have to provide an email address, right? They have to create an account of some kind. For example, if that community is on Facebook, they need a Facebook account, right? And then they're going to get notifications about, hey, you've been accepted into this community on Facebook. If you're going to host your own, again, you need somewhere to get people to log in and create an email. So email is still a viable method for you to communicate with people. Yes, you can post within the community to encourage people to engage, to encourage people to ask questions, to encourage people to share their knowledge. Absolutely, you can do that. But especially if it's a place where people don't normally check, for example, if it's your community, or if it's on LinkedIn and people don't spend as much time on LinkedIn as they do on Facebook necessarily, or if it's another platform entirely, like I was just talking with somebody who's thinking of Slack or Discord to host their community. So it's not someplace that people right now are currently actively checking daily. If that's the case, that's okay. But you need to send out those reminders. You want to have that process in place for how people can be active members. So just like you have a welcome series to welcome people into your list, you can also have a series of emails that are welcoming people into your community, to letting them know how to get the most out of their community, right? It's going to be a series of emails. It's going to take place over a couple of months because people might be really active and they might drop off. So you want to have a way to get them back in. You want to have a way to tell them what are they allowed to do? What aren't they allowed to do? How can they get the most from the community? Right? So many of us, we join a community, but we're like, yeah, those rules, we've seen them, we kind of glanced at them, but I really don't want to break the rules. Or they're worried about getting kicked out of the community. So they're afraid to contribute in the beginning, which is why I'm a big fan of having theme days, of having days to welcome people, of having days for people to share their knowledge, but also, giving people that opportunity, letting them know it is 100% okay for you to go and ask a question. What is your question? I just recently joined a community actually that doesn't exist on one of those normal platforms. The community engagement, the way you can ask questions, the way you can interact with other community members is through email. There is a Google group email digest that goes out, and that is the only place where all of us can get together and engage. But it works. And one of the reasons it works is because there is a series of emails that welcome people to the community and tell you how to make the most of it. What steps should you take? And then they have check-ins, right? Did you take this step? Let us know. Let us know how it went. How did that work for you? Was it as much as you wanted? Are you still looking for other help? What can we help you with? Let us know. So remember that as you're building your community, it doesn't have to be one-way communication, right? You can always ask for feedback. You can always ask for input from your community members, especially if you want them to feel like they're a part of it, right? When we have people in and we welcome them in and all we say is, okay, here are the rules. You better follow them and go for it. But they're not a part of that co-creation. They don't know what is and isn't okay. They don't know how to get the most out of it. They don't even know what's being offered. Well, then people are lost. All right. So email can definitely build your community. And one of the best ways to do that is to have an engagement sequence, is to have a welcome sequence for your community. And again, it doesn't have to be every day, just like a welcome series would be for email, right? This could be hey, you've been a member for 10 days now. Have you tried this? Did you know this was an option? Right? So what do you want people to get out of your community? That's step number one. That's always step number one when we're talking about marketing, we're talking about business building, is to set your success metrics and then share them, right? If I join a community and I don't know that there's a networking component, or if I join a community for one thing, right? I join a community because I like the trainings that this person is going to offer once a month, but don't realize that there's a way for me to share what I do once a month or to share what my knowledge is and my specialty is once a week. Well, then of course, I'm not going to do that. And we are bombarded with all the different places that we could be putting our time. It's super easy for us to just kind of forget, right? Whatever's right in front of us, that's what's most relevant. So be in front of your people. Be in front of your people and tell them, hey, you're a new member. I want to welcome you. I want to make sure you get the most out of this experience. And here's how you can do that. And then you map it out, right? So, as I said, right, this is a welcome series for your community. It's a welcome series for getting engagement. And engagement is not necessarily just going to happen, especially when people don't know the rules. There are so many Facebook groups out there, for example, right? And this applies to any particular channel that you might choose to use. But there are so many options out there that when you join, and then suddenly they're like, okay, here's the things you can do, here's the things you can't do. And some of them, there's a group I'm in, right, where every time you create a post, it gets vetted by the community admins first. And now normally I wouldn't mind. Okay, yeah, sure. You can vet that, make sure that people are actually contributing as opposed to just straight out promoting. But I noticed that no matter what I put out there, unless I paid to become a paid member in this quote unquote free community, none of my posts got approved. Even when I was like, hey, I'm looking for advice. Hey, I want to meet other people who fit this description. I'm looking to grow my network. All of the types of things that communities can be used for. If you created any kind of content and you didn't pay, then you couldn't play. And you know what? That's fine if you're going to promote your community as a paid community only. But if you're going to promote your community as, hey, we have a free tier, you can get access to all these people. Oh, we also have a paid tier. Then the free tier should have value, right? The free tier should have value. Because you want to create a great experience for your people. And that's not possible if you're, stopping them from being able to engage. So engaged communities, of course, are going to create fans. They're going to create people who are happy to talk you up and what you do. They're also a great place to be seen as a figurehead, to be seen as a leading authority in your universe, in your niche, in your little corner of the internet. And also as a place who brings in great people because you've met other great people in that community. So engagement is key, right? If the only person posting is you, it's not as valuable. But when you first get started, it's going to mostly be you. So it's up to you to send out those emails. It's up to you to go ahead and create that new member experience to let people know, hey, this is what you're able to do. This is what's open to you. This is what we want you to be using this community for. And this is how you can get the most out of that community. And if you are interested, I have recently put together a training on how to create an engaged community from the first interest, from the moment people join your network. And we dive into how to create your community, what kinds of things you need to do, what kinds of things other people need to do. And that course will be going live soon. So if you are interested in building an engaged community, if you're interested in building a community that's really going to support you and make you a thought leader in your industry, and of course, bring in great people to be a part of your community, I would love to help you with that. So I am going to be launching that fairly soon. But first, I will only be launching it to podcast listeners. So if you are interested and want to be building an engaged community, head on over to theaudienceconverter.com/waitlist community. Again, theaudienceconverter.com/waitlist community. And you will be the first to know when those courses go live. So until then, this has been an episode on how to build that engaged community, right? We're all about community building here at the 3C podcast. It's all about connecting, cultivating, and converting. And engagement goes into that cultivating and converting aspect of it. So thank you so much for listening. And until next time, keep calm and sign up for the waitlist.
Thanks for listening to the Audience Converter podcast. For more information and important links about today's show or for access to our website, visit theaudienceconverter.com. Take a moment to rate and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.